It's night talk. It is night talk. Here we go. We've got another episode of Night Talk and an afternoon episode. Thank you all for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. For those of you in the United States, come on in, have a seat. If you're not already sitting down, I guess. We have got a very extremely panoramic conversation prepared for you today. For those of you new to Night Talk, this is where we campfire and chat about everything under the stars. I'm your host, Gabriel Biederman from National Parks at Night, and thank you for joining us. Comment below where you are tuning in from, and while you do that, just a reminder, if you can't stay for the whole episode, they are posted to our channel, Instagram Live channel, about 10 to 15 minutes afterwards. So you can rewatch this episode and more, including our recent ones with the Aurora Guy, Isabel Tabaki, Sarah Matthews, and more. We are also have these wrapped up in a probably more viewer-friendly, wide format on our YouTube page, and that usually takes about 24 to 48 hours. You can go to the Night Photo Summit page and go for and look at the tab on for our pre-con events for that. Okay, I'll drop in the link also so we can rewatch it all in the chat. But wait, there's even more. This is gonna. We are building up steam as we go. We have, folks, 6 days left until Night Photo Summit, and there is a ton of free education that you can get leading up to Night Photo Summit. We've got 2 more talks planned this Sunday at noon with Dan Zafra, and on Tuesday we also are going to have with the Canadian Nikon ambassador Monica Deviat, and you can also get a free taste of Night Photo Summit next Tuesday and Thursday by logging on to 2025.nightphotosummit.com. Starting at midnight East Coast Standard Time on both Tuesday and Thursday, we will be sharing previous Night Photo Summit classes. So stay tuned for more about that. All right, let's see. Anyone logging in? We got Meg, Aurora Meg is coming in from Northern Michigan. Folks, and we've got KRL Photo. What's going on? Good to see you. Sadek, one of our other Night Photo Summit speakers, is in the house. Good to see you, Sadek. Let's see, Colin Smith. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. OG. Now, this is your third straight one, OG. Thank you. Appreciate it. Neil Black. Good to see you. And all the others, DC Miller, Maria. Really, thank you, folks. Drop in where you are coming from. Luis Lopez, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you. While we have you here, and before we get started, who here is interested in night panoramas? These can be a very epic way to capture the night sky in all of its vastness. But you know what's rare? Is star trail night panoramas. That takes some serious math, patience, and even some specialized gear. Well, tonight's guest is Alex Wides, who is a master of making those extreme 180 to 360 star trail panoramas. Alex is an Italian-born photographer who studied portraiture with Steve McCurry's assistant and landscape techniques with Daniel Gordon and Max Rivi. Through these experiences, Alex developed a unique photographic style focused on ultra-wide panoramic landscapes. His work, often captured in extreme conditions on top of that, such as expeditions and climbs, showcases these 180 to 360 degree panoramas, which have gained worldwide recognition. Renowned as a leader in the panoramic landscape photography community, Alex has won prestigious awards and has founded a successful company offering photo tours and workshops. Alex also joined us last night on How We Got the Shots pre-con, and you'll be able to soon be able to rewatch that as well. So, folks, without further ado, let's give a very wide welcome to Alex Wides.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Gabe.
How you doing today, Alex?
Super, super good. I'm super good here. I'm super happy to be here. And thanks a lot for the organization, for everyone that is enjoying us during this night. It's amazing. Actually, it's night here, so it's proper night.
It's proper. It's proper.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
proper. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and so let's see. Last night you said you're in Portugal, right? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
still
that's
in
true.
Portugal,
That's true.
and
That's
you look
true.
like you're not in a hotel room.
It's not definitely a hotel room. Yeah, yeah. It's a super huge camper van that I'm living in. So yeah, we are living with my family, with my two dogs. You will probably see them later on passing by here.
All right, I look forward to
And
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. And we are living here, and now we are in Portugal, but we are moving around Europe, exploring, photographing, of course, and looking for night shots.
Perfect, perfect. Listen, first off, Alex, I have to say thank you. Thank you for making Star Trails cool again. Your Wildfield images show all the stars trailing all the time, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience to get to know your work. And I think so many people who think of night photography, they obviously first think of the Milky Way. They
Yeah,
don't want to even talk about the moon, but
yeah,
then they're like, star trails, it's not something I can see with my eye, though it is something that happens right in the world, right? And we have the technology to capture it.
yes.
um, but really, thank you for showing it in such a in a unique way. So
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Gabe. It's a pleasure to listen something like this because I was focusing on Milky Way for a lot of years.
sure,
Yeah,
yes,
of
yeah,
course. And
yeah,
then I switched a little bit my vision of photography. Started with experimenting with the moonlight that I was, amazed and in love with it.
hmm
And then I ended up with these star trades that were in the beginning a super struggle fight in my head, like how to do that. I would
yes,
just want to understand, and then here we are.
yes. It's a bit mind boggling, and we're going to get to folks some of the sort of the science behind how Alex makes these just absolutely stunning images. But first, I always love to start off with this question, and because I think it's just important um, to all of our to all of our viewers as we get to know you, is really what first got you curious about the night.
All right. Oh, this question remembers me a lot of things. I mean,
Yep.
I was studying landscape photography in the beginning. It was around 2016, 2015, probably. Yes, I was studying and studying and studying because I started photography with a lot of things, and then I just went a little bit, obsessed by landscape photography, and I started to try to understand how to capture for example, the sunset, the sunrise, and etc. By the way, I discovered a guy on Facebook. It was the shine of Facebook time. Facebook was the main platform to share your content and etc. And I discovered this guy in a Facebook group, with the shot of the Milky Way, and I just said, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? I want to understand how is possible to get this kind of stars in just one image. Is that real photography? That wasn't possible to catch to use the AI in the beginning. And so I just was like, okay, I want to understand how to do something like that. And then I just stalked him. Really, I just tried to understand every single day, asking him, I mean, man, I will become your worst nightmare. I mean, I have to understand how to do something like that. And then this guy that was Michele, one of my older photography friends, and he told me, okay, let's try. I want to explain to you how to catch the Milky Way, how to catch the night lights, and etc. And then I started experimenting. In the beginning was, of course, as everyone's experiment, in the beginning was super hard to manage, because without the light, you will you will struggle with a lot of things like exposure, like the composition, of course. That was the first thing that I was scared by. And yeah, experimenting day by day, night by night, we can say. And month after month and year after year, I just experimented a lot of techniques. And then I ended up with the Milky Way panoramas. I just started the Milky Way panoramas. I don't remember exactly what year was, but yeah, I've started in Sardinia, in my country in Italy, and because it was the darkest sky that we have. You are so lucky because you have a lot of dark skies, like national parks, of course, and first of all. And in Italy, we struggle with a lot of light pollution. So I moved a little bit out of the cities to experiment a little bit of the Milky Ways, of night shots in general. And then, yeah, I experimented this kind of photography and I enjoyed it a lot, a lot. So yeah, this was
Awesome.
the
Awesome.
start.
That's great. I love it. And I see some people commenting and chatting already, which reminds me, folks, remember, and I see one or two questions. Definitely drop your questions in the chat. I will get to them. And we want to make sure that Alex gets those answers to you. Want to get to know him a little bit more first, and then we'll kind of get into the meat and potatoes of these of his images and these wide extreme panoramas.
Okay.
So, Alex, in your bio, you were able to learn from some pretty iconic photographers.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you share some of those insights you gained
Yep.
from each one of them? And so, and just a reminder to the audience, we're talking about Steve McCurry's assistant,
Yeah.
Daniel Corden, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing landscape photographer, and Max Reeve also
Yeah.
as well. So if you could share like one thing that you gained from each one of them,
Mhm, mhm.
and how that just expanded your, besides stalking them. We already know you can be a stalker at times from the
That's
Facebook.
true. That's true. That's true. That's true. But when I pay, I'm justified to stall them.
Exactly. Of course, when you pay,
Oh
that's
no,
it.
you're
That's
right.
it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, first of all, I was in the beginning. I was a portrait photographer. I've started with weddings, with ceremonies or something like that, events, of course, and of course, club photography like discotheques and etc. So in the beginning, my first thing was to understand how to catch the perfect portraits to people, to to have them in a perfect pose and etc, the perfect light and etc. And who mastered something like this? Of course, the assistant of Steve McCurry, that is Eolo Perfido. It was one of my no, I cannot say friends, but in the same group of people, of photographers. And I knew him in person, and then I tried to understand from him how to catch some portraits in a proper way, manage the light, manage the models, of course, and etc. And I've started to study and study and study, and also I've learned a little bit of business management, because he was and he is currently one of the best businessmen in terms of photographers that I know. He worked with a lot of companies like Samsung, like in automotive companies, like Land Rover, if I don't get wrong, like Renault or something like that. But by the way, yeah, he's a super expert of managing the light and managing, of course, everything about Photoshop and etc. So I studied from him. And then every single money that I've earned in portrait photography, like wedding and etc., I invested that kind of monies, that amount of money, every time in traveling and traveling and traveling. And in this part of traveling, in these trips, in these tours that I went in, I discovered a lot of photographers and a lot of techniques. And Daniel Corden was the giant star that illuminated my path in this kind of passion. And I discovered his work a lot, much years before that I met him in person. And I started to study with the courses from Daniel. try to understand how to capture the landscape in such a beautiful way. And also, I discovered Max Reeve a little bit later. That is much different from Daniel in terms of, background. Max Reeve is just an adventurer, is like a crazy climber, something like that. So much photographer, adventure photographer, hiking photographer. And then I mixed them up. And when I discovered that they were in the same workshop, leading the workshop together, they presented the workshop, and then I just said, okay, the two of my favorite giants, the monsters, are finally together teaching photography. I have to join there right now. And so I enjoyed it in this workshop that was in Seni Island. It was a photo tour. I enjoyed them, and I can remember clearly what was the game changer of this workshop. We learned a lot of things, of course. So they teach us in a lot of ways, but there was a small thing that changed my life forever. I mean, we were in the hotel. The was raining outside. We were doing a theory lesson, and basically was a portfolio review. And then they, of course, taken a look of my portfolio, and then they said me, "Okay, Alex, good job. Your photos are pretty good, but your single shots are nothing special. You can, I mean, we see a lot of things like yours. There is nothing special in your single shots." And that, I have to say, that sounded me like a punch in my face, like, okay, like a slap. You have to erase everything. Your work is nothing special. And I said, all right, go on, please. And they said, but your panoramas are something special, so let's focus on them and let's do just them. And then from there, I just deleted my Instagram. Like I was a remain. I think was remain with just 3 or 4 panoramas on my Instagram from 1,000 photos, and then I started to do only panoramas and to focus only on panoramas, and that's why we are talking tonight for this one.
Love it. That's what that speaks such testament to the importance of workshops. And
Yeah.
we all have someone that we look up to. Hopefully they're still alive, right? Hopefully it's not just like the Picassos and the Renoirs and all these people.
Yeah.
Hopefully we are inspired by people that are living and working and sharing that information. It used to be you could only learn from Ansel Adams and a few other people, right? No one was sharing. But now there are more than enough opportunities.
Yeah.
And wow, to get 2 of them together,
Yeah.
that's really special.
Yeah,
Really
it was
special.
amazing
So
to be there with them. And also, I don't want to spoiler, I don't want to spoil next questions, but
yeah.
Penny Island was something. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. So then, okay. So, all right. Obviously, you're dabbling with panoramas to begin with.
Yeah.
Can you share sort of that journey from that first shot you did, and and then like now, like when did you kind of get into this 360 degrees, like full panorama vision?
Yeah. Was that period was exactly the period that I was switching my photography in terms of focusing on panoramas, as I said. And yeah, I started in just in Senya Island. I was there because this island was perfect for my panoramas, because it's just basically an island that is super wild. Is above the Lofoten Islands, so it's in Norway, and it's just perfect for this kind of photographs. I will speak about that later on. And yeah, uh, I was there with idea to have just my panorama. So 360 degrees are a little bit complicated, much complicated than single shots, because on the single shots you have to focus straight on you, behind you. That will be everything, that can be everything. You just don't care about what is behind you. But if you want to have a 360 degree view, you have to, manage a lot of things, a lot of elements. You have to manage the light source and decide, okay, what is behind, what is in front of me, what is on the side, and then you have to manage a lot of elements around you. So there was perfect, like, experimenting, like it was like a fitness for me, like a training, a fitness training, to become better and better and better in terms of panoramic photography. And there was specific, like, was seems like was crafted for panoramas. You stand on the peak, and then you capture all around you. You have the fjords, you have a lot of mountains there, so everything works perfectly. At least, I mean, also, if you are not a professional panoramic photographer, you can do a lot of great job there. So I've started from Seni Island. Seni Island was my beginning. And then the challenge was to have a beautiful panorama in every single location that I reached out in every year of my career. And then so I tried a lot of places. Some of them as beautiful, as perfect for they are perfect in terms of panoramic, but some others no. So I've learned how to choose a place, how to choose the right country to catch my panoramas. And I've started to just trying and trying and trying. Was really easy, actually, because when they told me, focus on panoramas and just do them, I just told them, all right, it's just what I love. So there is nothing, that is forcing me to keep just on this way. All right, sometimes I see some places that are perfect for single shots, and I regret a little bit this choice, and I say, okay, this place is perfect for a single shot, but in terms of panoramics, doesn't work. But yeah, by the way, is more challenging, and I learned how to manage something like that, and then I choose location just with this,
Yeah,
keeping in mind my panoramas.
the single shots are for the iPhone, I guess. That's it.
No, 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 not to say something like no, 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 no. Not say something like that, please. No, no, no. No, no.
It's amazing. And Daniel, um, they gave you the right advice, and you did the right thing.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to any artist, right? Is that, we all, I think, throw the pasta on the wall to figure out
Mm-hmm.
what we like. And it might
That's
take,
true.
might take, might take 3 months. It might
Yeah,
take
yeah,
30 years,
yeah, yeah.
to
That's
figure it out. Cause maybe you like a lot of different things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's true.
but I know when I said, hey, I want to be a night photographer and dedicate that. And that was back in the film days when it was really difficult,
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw my partner, Matt Hill, also go down this same. He said, I remember we just got out of COVID, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, every picture I'm going to take now is going to be panorama. And I'm like, what? You can't do that. That's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. You can't do that. That's like
Yeah,
too mind blowing. And plus, it means that every place you go, it's gonna be a 15 to 20 minute, 30-minute, 40-minute setup, right? It's like it's a long thing. So I totally
that's true.
understand and feel, but dedicating yourself not only just to the craft of whatever you do, but
Mm-hmm.
then get in with your vision and be very specific with it and own it is so important for all of
Yeah.
us. And you
Oh,
are proof of that. So thank you.
thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
This is I also want to hear about the hiking side of you,
All right.
the extreme side of you. So
Okay.
okay, we've got your photographic vision, your creative vision, and your journey there. What about hiking? Have you been hiking since a kid? I mean, you're right. You matched up. It seems to be what you love, which is getting to all of these amazing peaks all over the world. And that's, as you said, the best 360-degree vision to
Yeah.
see, right? But when did the passion for hiking start as well? And talk to us about that journey.
All right. In the same year that I was in Senia, I experimented a little bit of hiking a little bit more than I was used to. In the beginning, I was just used to, hike for just 30 minutes or something like that. But I understood that more than you push your limits, more results you can have back. So it was just a question. In the beginning, I have to say, it just was a question of ego, probably, because when you conquer a mountain, you are super satisfied. You are on the peak. This is basically something that moves the mountaineers on K2 or on Everest. Is the same thing. I mean, you want to reach the peak, and it's like a challenge. And you can have, if you love panoramas, you can have a challenge in the challenge. So you can imagine your shots just scouting in Google Earth, looking for beautiful places. And once once when I get that the panoramas could be better in higher places, I started to hike a little bit more and more and more, and I get passionate by this because you live in the nature, you just walk around, you just breathe. And I was super fortunate in terms of physics, because I'm super thin. I eat a lot. Trust me, I eat a lot. So I'm a like a shark, something like that. And by the way, I was super fortunate in terms of my body can manage everything, like in terms of calories and etc. Sometimes I train myself a little bit, but yeah, I used to hike just for explore. I need to be in contact with nature. And then this merged perfectly with panoramas. Is a perfect stitch together, because the panoramas are better in the highest place. And I love to explore, and I love to reach some places that no one has reached before, at least photographers, I say. So yeah, it is just a big challenge. A challenge to reach some new places, some perfect places for panoramas, some higher places. And then I just started walking and walking and walking, and I will never stop, probably till die.
I
Yeah.
love it, love it, love it. I wish I could be as skinny as you and be a shark.
Yeah, it's a big lucky. It's a big lucky. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, so you're hiking and you're now like pretty serious about this.
Mhm.
Um, what's essential for you to pack when hiking for these epic peaks? Because let's also share with the audience, you often are spending the night up there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
okay, so right away, it's not just photo gear, it's camping gear.
No,
So
that's
so
true.
so share with us these essential things to survive the night on the mountain.
Let's talk before about the most essential thing to get the mountain, to get the summit of the mountains, the lightweight. You have to be super lightweight, so you need a lightweight stuff to get there. Because I talked with a lot of photographers, and I brought with me a lot of photographers in the mountains, but they get tired much before than me, just because they are full of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of things that are useless when you are in the mountains, for example. And also, I was super lucky because I merged the panoramas with this, and also, if you only do the panoramas, you don't need a lot of camera gear, like many lenses or telezoom lenses that weighs a lot. And so the weights are the most important part. You have to be super lightweight. So I've spent a lot of money. I invested a lot of money earned by workshops and etc. in lightweight materials, like sleeping pad, sleeping mat, everything. Sleeping bag, of course. The backpack have to be a lightweight backpack, not super huge backpack that don't allow you to be faster and faster. So I saw a lot of people and a lot of photographers full of gear, and I just go with water, food, first of all food, and then camera, and then the most lightweight stuff that I can bring with me. So you have to be super light. Basically, I'm there with my pad, tent, and sleeping bag. And also, I don't use the sleeping bag, for example. I use the quilt that is much lighter than the sleeping bag, because the quilt doesn't have the backside. when you stay in the backside, you just stay on the sleeping pad. And so yeah, there are some tip and tricks to have a little bit the same backpack but much lighter. So I think the whites are the most important part. Yeah.
Yeah, keeping it light, keeping it light. For me, it's water is always the challenge, right? Because you want to either bring enough water or you
That's
bring the
true.
water filtration,
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah, yeah,
So if you know that you're going to be going by some rivers, streams, or something
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
that you can
exactly.
filter that water because
Exactly.
yeah, really, really important.
Yeah, I
So
use my filter, of course. I filter the water, and then I used to have just one bottle. I don't bring a lot of things. When you try to go there, you understand that a lot of things are useless. I mean,
yeah,
double socks, for example, are super important. But
okay,
for example, double shirt is not important at all.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yep,
something like that.
yep, good. Okay, and we got a question in here, and it kind of ties into the question I have ready for you as well.
Hmm.
Um, Practical tips on how people can kind of get started capturing that panoramic point of view. And our good friend OG from Toronto, he's asking on top of that, so it's a two-parter. Does
Hmm.
panorama require photo stitching?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we able to have a panorama already stitched just by the phone,
Yeah,
basically.
right,
Now,
exactly, right.
right now.
That it's
Yeah,
doing it in camera,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yes, but yeah. By the way, yeah, they has to be stitched
So
with a
always stitching
yeah
going on.
every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's always better. I mean, you could shoot with a wide angle lens and crop in, but it'll be less quality,
yeah. Of
right?
course, of course,
So
of
better
course.
to, yep.
And there are so many years that I'm struggling with. For example, Epson Panoramic Awards that award a lot of times, single shot just cropped by 2.1, but it's not a real panorama. It's just a crop 2.1. It is what
Yeah,
it is. You know.
exactly. But better to have the image be rich with quality, and you can blow it up big because that is the issue. It's like also how do you display panoramas? Instagram isn't always the greatest way to
Ah,
showcase panoramas. Yes, we can. That's a whole other discussion we can have.
yeah.
You know,
All right, all right, all right.
but right, usually a panorama image, you want to print and it's got to be printed large,
Yeah,
otherwise you're taking a loop to it. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so again, a beginner, what would you advise a beginner getting into panorama? What would be the advice? Maybe a little gear
Mhm.
tip on that.
All right, there are basically two important things that you have to keep in mind if you want to start the panoramas. One is the location, and the second is the gear, the stuff that you use to catch the panoramas. The location is the most important because not every location is good for panoramas. As I said before, let's take an example. If we go, for example, on the beach and try to have a panorama, we will have a super empty space panorama. I mean, that is super good if you want to a minimal shot, but it's not good if you want a panorama. If you want a panorama, you have to fill the empty spaces with a lot of elements, source of light, for example, using your tent, using your own figure, whatever it is, whatever you want to use, but you have to fill the empty spaces. Otherwise, the panorama will look so poor, so full of empty space, um, nothing special. So you have to be in the right place, right? And by the way, in the right moment, of course. So what I mean with in the right place, you need a place with a lot of change of hikes, right? If you have a lot of change of hikes, let's take an example: the mountains. Of course, if you are on top of the mountain, you have a lot of changes of the hikes. I mean, in the foreground and in the background, you have a lot of mountains that popping up a little bit, one more and one less. And so you can have a huge vision, a huge scene in front of you, especially if you want to capture a super wide panorama. By the way, if you go, for example, in like Times Square, for example, you will be down there. We can say down there, between a lot of, in the middle of a lot of buildings, a lot of skyscrapers, and you will have the flat foreground and a lot of elements in the background. So the best place to have a beautiful panorama is in the middle of the mountain, that you have a lot of changes of heights. And also on the cliffs. Cliffs are perfect for panoramas because you have a lot of rocks, a lot of elements, a lot of, a lot of shapes by the sea and etc. So the right place is the most important part. And also the second part is the right equipment. You have to choose the widest angle that you can manage. For example, I use exactly this lens that I'm using right now. That is the 12 millimeters by Samyang. Is the 2.8 aperture, and it's quite good. It's super sharp, and also allows me to have a 180 degrees diagonal field of view, so I can catch all of the sky, all right, on top of me, and all of the foreground down on me. So I have everything around me. I don't need to go, down the foreground using techniques like focal blending or focus stacking or whatever. I just use this kind of lens, and you have a huge panorama. But you have to fill it up. So clouds, Milky Way, star trails, whatever it is, you have to fill the empty space. This is the most important part, I think.
Awesome. Yes, indeed. It's funny. We talked with Isabella Tabacchi, another Italian photographer.
Yeah, yeah.
I asked her what's her favorite location? Mountains, water features, or what was the other one? Mountains, water features, or something else. You're right. I forget.
Desert, probably.
And
desert.
Desert. Exactly.
Yeah, of course,
Desert.
of course.
And she was like, mountains. She thought about it for 1 second. It was mountains.
yeah. Isabella is a good friend, and she explores a lot, and she's really good in terms of photography and in terms of exploring. Yeah, she scouts a lot. Also in the Dolomites, she has really unique shots there. Also in the Matterhorn area, and I love her style. Of course, I tried to learn a little bit from her, but she never given me the lessons. I don't know why, but I tried a lot of times to ask her, Isabella, please. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's hopefully someday we can see a nice Italian 1-2 punch of Isabella and you and Alex. Obviously, they're both speakers at Night Photo Summit, so we've got that. But maybe we'll all meet sometime in the Dolomites. I think we'll go.
Why not?
Exactly. Right.
You're most
exactly.
welcome. Yeah,
so speaking of which, Alex will be speaking at our upcoming Night Photo Summit, January 24th to 26th. That's next Friday, folks. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. His class is called Panoramic Star Trails. And Alex Wide uses, again, 360-degree star trail panoramas that are very complex to execute due to the challenge of capturing the entire sky as it rotates throughout the night. In this talk, Alex will reveal it all and share tips and insights into the entire process, from the initial concept to the finished product, showing the intricate steps that transform a series of raw images into these breathtaking star trail panoramas. I think we've talked a bit. Now it's time to actually take a look at some of your images and share the technical how you captured this and the story behind the shots. So let's see. All right, here we go, folks. Boom. And then let's go over here. All right. Wow. So Northern Lights, this has been a trending topic at Night Talk. What's going on here in this shot, Alex?
I'd say home sweet home, right?
I like it.
Yeah. We were in Sweden here, and this is actually from a few months ago. Just I don't remember. It was December. No, it was November. Actually, yeah, it was November. And we were moving from the north to here in Portugal, trying to escape from this freezing there. I mean, we were looking for some hot temperatures, like warm temperatures. And we stopped there in this beautiful area. I was scouting on Google Earth, looking for beautiful composition. And in that time, it was the last goodbye to Scandinavia, and the title of this image is Goodbye Scandinavia, because we were there for 3 months and was absolutely amazing. The Northern Lights, full of Northern Lights. We were super lucky with the activity of the sun. So we were able to catch a lot of Northern Lights. And of course, on the last shot, I decided to have all of my all of my needs with me in this shot, with my
Yep.
camper van, with my family inside, so my two dogs and my girlfriend there. And
Nice.
yeah, it was absolutely mesmerizing, this location. And also the whole Sweden is just
Yeah.
absolutely insane. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
this, folks, this Alex was talking just about this. Look at how full this frame is. He's filled it all up. Trees on the left, trees on the right. Getting right to that water, that red line of the water. Usually, we don't like maybe so much red lights in there, but it's really defined. The space, the reflection of the auroras, all makes you look at Home Sweet Home, which so this is where Alex lives most of the time. And
Yeah.
let's take a closer look at home. There it is.
Here we are. It's
So,
the same. I promise it's the same.
so talk to us. How long you've been living in this? This is what, a Sprinter? Is this what? Right.
Yeah, it is a sprinter. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so how long? When did you make that leap to just live on the road? And how's it going?
All right, we decided to buy this kind of vehicle many years ago. We started with a Fiat Ducato with another camper van that was
Mhm.
super basic and was not insulated. It was just a van, just for
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah.
And we explored a lot of places with it. Like Sweden, like again Denmark and Norway again,
Mhm.
and Switzerland, of course, Italy, of course. And then we decided to push a little bit the level, and we decided to, okay, now it's time, we have to decide, we want an apartment or we want an apartment with the wheels. So we decided to, yeah, we ended up to bought this monster. And now we are living in from August of 24.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we are exploring. The camper van is pretty new, is from April 24. So we
Oh,
decided
nice.
to pimp it a little bit. We applied the graphics, we applied some modifications to get a little bit harder and stronger. And by the way, we explored a lot of north mainly, and basically we were in Norway, Denmark, and etc.
Uh-huh.
We were in Sunny Island. I was it was like a dream. I guided my photo tours with my home with me, with my family with me, and we cooked the fish, just catch it just 2 hours before together with the guys. So it was an unbelievable experience, trust me. And yeah, we live in and we are enjoying a lot. And we want to explore also. Probably I will ring your I will knock your door one time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to explore America,
Okay,
United
come
States,
on
of course.
over.
Yeah,
You can come to New York. You get the city stuff, but then we can hit a road trip all the way to
yeah,
California. Always worth your
absolutely,
while for that. But
absolutely.
always the door is ready to be knocked on.
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. Good to know. All
All
right.
right. So wow. Okay, back now out of the van and up in the mountains. Where are we here? What's going on?
This is Sardinia. As I say, it was my starting place to
Hmm.
understand how to catch the Milky Ways.
Hmm.
And this actually was my first ever 360 degrees Milky Way shot.
Nice.
And I was super, super, super satisfied by it. And yeah, I can't forget this moment. I was tracking with the sky during all night long,
Hmm.
and all night long, yeah, of course. And I captured my figure in there with the light. The foreground was captured during the twilight, so no, before the sunrise actually, yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, so was super super complicated in the beginning,
Yeah.
but in the end, when I was in front of this image finished, I just realized that, okay, this is something. I have to start to do a lot of things like this. And you can see on the left there was a city that was called Kia,
Hmm.
or yes, Kia. The name is Kia. In the middle, you can see the Milky Way. On the left of the Milky Way, you can see. If I don't go wrong, there is. Yeah, it was Mars. The little bit yellow dot is
Oh,
Mars, and
cool,
then
cool.
Saturn, and then the giant you can see. Yeah, it was Jupiter, and the Big Dipper on the right, and the lighthouse. The lighthouse was by Capo Malfatano. Is the name? Is a little complicated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That looks
But
like, it's funny. The lighthouse looks like, I thought initially it was like the moon setting or whatever
yeah,
for it, but
that's true.
that's
That's
cool,
true.
right? Because nice balance of the lights on both sides, right?
Exactly.
Really nice balance, and one is cooler and one is warmer, so that really is a really nice a look to it. The wispy clouds, the Milky Way. I've never seen a Milky Way that small look so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's just popping out from the clouds, and I was super lucky also with the weather, because there is super humid sometimes. It's an island, so basically it's super humid. But this night the sky was clear at the exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, exactly the center of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way then feed and in the light pollution. So was perfect. I was super
Awesome.
lucky there. Yeah.
Love it. Okay, let's see where you're taking us to next.
Ah,
To the top of the mountain.
yeah.
Where are we here? This to me looks like the Dolomites. Am I?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You're right. This is the Dolomites, and you can see the Tre Cime of Lavaredo, three peaks of Lavaredo in the middle. And this is actually probably my best shot ever. I cannot do something better than this. From since 2 years or 3 years, I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying, and I cannot do something better than this, because I was also super lucky, because you can see the moon on the left, and then on the right of the moon there is a little dot that is Jupiter again. And then you can see the two dots on the highest peak that are basically mountaineers that were going up.
They're scaling that. Oh
Scaling, yeah,
wow. Oh,
exactly.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can imagine my face when I was when I woke up the tent and I saw them, and I said, "Oh my God, come on, please! They are better, much better than me. Come on!"
Wait, you didn't have them on walkies and had them?
No, not yet. No. And you can see the cross of Monte Paterno. That is the name of the mountain. You can see the Big Dipper on top of the cross, and then on the right there is a pretty rare phenomenon that is the broken spectre that reflects the moonlight, and you can see it's really hard to see from here.
Yep.
The cross shadow and my shadow with a little rainbow there that is fog bow, actually.
Okay. Yep, exactly. So, folks, I'll say again, we're watching this on Instagram Live, so I know the image is a little small. Again, within 24 hours, this will be up on our YouTube page. The link is in previous. We dropped it a little previous, so back up in the chat. And that way you'd be able to see that wider format. But better yet, you should order this as a very large print from Alex later.
And we can print this like a giant skyscraper, because the longest side is around 19,000 pixels, so something like that.
Yeah, we're talking 20 feet by like 10, 8 feet, or whatever it is.
Giant.
Who doesn't have that sort of space in their house, right?
Yeah, exactly. Every time I say, okay, I can put the stamp, I can put the prints, but you have to put the space.
Exactly.
Every time.
So I have to say, really great use of moonlight here. Again, many night photographers hide when the moon is out. Great, and add so much drama to the scene. And also the tent. The tent, we've seen a lot of tent shots from the outdoor companies and everything like that, but so many of the tents are blown out. Right. And they're blown out, and they're just like not, I don't know. It doesn't always work. This one, it works. It works right under the cross, the color, the right exposure. Bravo.
Thank you. Can you believe it was the only one space to have that we had for the tent? It's the only one space. There were no room for tent there, so there was only one
the
shot.
flattest spot was right underneath the cross, right?
It was perfect, absolutely perfect. Yeah,
nice. All right, okay, back to the auroras. Are we in Senya? Where are we?
Yeah, we are insane. Yeah, we are insane. Yeah, and this is I mean, the path. What was this? I started with Mickey Ways. I enjoyed the
Mhm,
moonlights, and
mhm,
then I started to manage the moonlights and also
mhm,
the northern lights, and I started to fall in love with the moonlights and also the different things from the Milky Ways. I mean, when I was for the first time in Atacama Desert, I decided to I'm okay with the Milky Ways because this is the darkest place in the
mhm,
world.
mhm,
So I'm okay. I'm okay. I have my Milky Ways here. Everybody is doing Milky Ways. There are so many talented photographers that do
mhm.
panoramas that does panoramas in Milky Ways, and they are just huge trackers. They have a lot of things and they are much better than me. So I switched a little bit my focus and I try to manage something unique, something special. Of course, always doing panoramas, but with
Mhm.
the moonlight, with the moon outside, or with the, of course, northern lights or something
Mhm.
that is different. And here in Senya we were it's really funny because we were with the other camper van, and that was parked down there, so really easy to reach this location. And it was the I if I don't remember if I remember yes, it was the 5th of yes, the 5th of September.
Okay.
And so it was pretty warm, and was absolutely insane to shot the Milky Way with the sunset down there, and just with summer socks or something like that, just with a fleece. And we were there like, okay, we are full of northern light, but just with this warm temperature is just like a dream. Can we live this for every single day of our life? And so
Right.
yeah, we were super lucky. The Northern Lights was super strong, like KP7 or something like that. So yeah, it was
Beautiful.
huge. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Really, it's funny because you had mentioned earlier that, doing beach shots is difficult for a
yeah,
panorama because there's a lot of empty space.
yeah,
However, what's a great thing that fills in so much of that space? Auroras, right? And these are just dancing, it looks like, wow, it looks like actually like almost like a skull, but very nice, because of the two holes with the red in them, as well there.
yeah, yeah,
Really, really, and the reflection, um, wonderful, really wonderful image. And so, right, we say, you know, the challenging places to do the panoramas, but then, of course, when you get something to fill the frame, like, oh, if we could have auroras every night,
yeah. That's
then,
absolutely true.
then,
Absolutely.
then it just makes it easy. But the nice framing again on the right and left of the rocks, we're really kind of going through this tunnel to the beach, the distant mountains, and it
Yeah.
almost looks like this Aurora mountain is kind of forming sort of in the middle there as
Yeah,
well.
that's true.
Wonderful.
That's true. It's pretty rare to find some clips or in general some sea level places like this that can fill every part of the
Hmm.
frame like this.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was super lucky, and also Sanya Island is just a paradise. You can go
Yeah.
wherever you want there,
Yeah. And it's
and
still, Senya is still like it's not over touristed. Or what are you thinking?
that's true.
Yeah, right? It's still
That's true.
like everyone goes to Lofoten.
Yeah.
Not as many people go to Senya, but there's
Also
Senya's.
because there are not many hotels there,
Yep.
and you have to, of course, you have to walk on
You
top
have
of
to,
the mountain.
you,
So
you gotta hike. You
it's
gotta
so
hike a little bit
selective.
more. But it's
Yeah,
worth it. It's worth it.
yeah, absolutely, 100%, absolutely.
All right, this is our last shot. So and this is a shot, folks. This is a good one. This is pretty extreme.
Yeah,
Boom. All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And this looks like what we're going to be talking about at Night Photo Summit too. Wow.
exactly.
Um, where are we? What's going on? Why are those stars like it looks like the stars are giving us a big hug? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, we were back in we are back in the Dolomites, and
Mhm.
I'm pretty I'm super satisfied of this shot because the location was unveiled. I mean, it's not a common location, and I was scouting like crazy during
Mhm.
this month, and when I discovered this place that I have to say was suggested by my friend that
Mhm.
was there, and he told me, "Man, I think if you go there with your panoramas, you can do something special there. And then yeah, we hiked up there. Was super interesting because the snow was clean. We destroyed everything, of course, with our shoes and everything, with our boots.
Yep.
And
Yep.
by the way, yeah, we were there around sunset, and I
Mhm.
tried to get my shot. I tried to understand the composition, and then when I saw the with photo pills with some apps, I saw the Polaris in
Yeah.
the center
Yep.
of this composition. I just said this
Yep.
could be
Yep.
something super interesting,
Yep.
and I tried to to get the shot with the moonlight. As you can see, there are some shadows
Mhm.
that cannot, it's not possible to have these shadows here and here. You cannot see my cursor, by the way, but it's the same.
Yep.
You cannot see the shadows without the moonlight, of course. So I just illuminated the foreground with my headlamp, and also the moonlight made the rest. So you can see a little bit of shadows and brighter parts. And yeah, I just captured around, if I don't go wrong, is around 468 photos for the sky with just one camera, that I reveal in my talk. So be sure
Okay.
to
Okay.
be with me, yeah, in the
All
next
right.
few days. And it was super amazing. And the most important part when you shoot something like that is to merge the color of the sky
Yes.
with the foreground.
Yep.
So it's much better to focus on the, if the sky, for example, is bluish like this because there was a little bit of moonlight and a little bit of probably it was winter, so
Mhm.
I'd like to have something like this, cold tones or something like that. And when I was editing this image, I was thinking about, okay, the sky is pretty blue. I have to, manage the blues in this image, like for example, Isabella do this thing like a master.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Mhm.
and when I was editing this, I was just thinking about the, matching the tones with the foreground and the background. If you in the, for example, if you have this photo with the grass on the bottom,
Mhm.
probably it doesn't work like this.
Right. Right. The white's amazing. The white's amazing. The shadows, the depth, the detail, and I have to say, right, you mentioned at the beginning, you trampled all through here with your snow, but it looks amazing. It looks
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it brings that, I think if it was all like virgin snow, it wouldn't speak
Exactly.
the same thing. And we now have this alternative texture that kind of
Yeah,
just again brings shape to the bottom of
yeah,
it.
true.
So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't
And
know,
also,
Alex. You said you had your favorite amongst here. I don't know. This one is up there for me. I really like. I like this one. So I think you've got quite a.
it's definitely one of my favorite, of course.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Right. It's like
That's true.
they're all
Yeah.
children, right? They're all favorites.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Sometimes you can do something really, really, really special, but definitely all of them are your child, yeah, your
Exactly.
children, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna come back to our format over here. And folks, we'll be wrapping up things in about just about 3 or 4 minutes. So again, ask any questions, put those in the chat. And if you want for Alex to answer, otherwise I do have a few more questions. You've took us on wonderful journey through the Dolomites up to Sedya, Norway. Um, what what's next on your like night sky bucket list that you have not been to? Let's say that. I know you go back to many of your favorite locations and you've got those, but what's itching at the back of your
Yeah.
skull to go to and climb up to?
I have to say that my bucket list is endless. I have a lot.
How many
Ah,
mountains are there, right?
oh my God, it's full of amazing places up there, out there. So I want to explore all over the world. I mean, yeah, of course, there are so many places that I want to explore more than the
Yep.
others. For
Yep.
example, I'm not super in love with Japan, for example, but I want to explore absolutely Kyrgyzstan or
Hmm.
Kazakhstan, of course.
Kazakhstan,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Isabella has like just put that on
Oh,
the map. I think, right?
I
Sorry,
love.
Kazakhstan, but get ready for a lot of photographers to come in.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. Also, Daniel was there, and then shares Daniel Cordan shares a lot of beautiful images from there, and I'm just in love with this kind of landscapes. Deserts are probably the next step for me. I want to explore more the deserts. Of course, your country is just you know. eh, Something special everywhere. I don't want,
Hmm.
I want to explore the parks. Of course, I've been there
Hmm.
when I was 15,
Okay.
but without
Okay.
my camera, so I just
Yep.
have my memories of the places, and I just think every single day how to I want to capture this place like this and this place like this. So of course America, but definitely, yeah, probably the first place that I want to visit as soon as possible is USA. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well,
In
listen, we're
general.
ready. You need any help? Let me know. We're here to help. And boy, I'd love to. I don't know if I can how many mountains I can climb, but I can definitely take you to the deserts.
All right.
um,
It's perfect.
we do have, let's see, we got a question from June. June joining us late here, but
All right.
she's wondering if you know Noel Thomas. He's known as on Instagram Majestic Flights. He does amazing time lapses. He spoke at Night Photo Summit
Okay.
a couple years ago. Not sure if you guys have crossed paths before or
No,
see him.
no.
Really kind of cool stuff. I highly
Okay.
recommend. Obviously, panorama time lapses, two wonderful ways to translate
Yeah,
the night sky in different ways for that.
absolutely.
But okay, so let's wrap things up. Um, Besides all the next trips, how else can, and besides Night Photo Summit, is there any other projects that you would like to share, or how can we continue to learn from you beyond Night Photo Summit?
Okay. Yes, of course, I have some tutorials. I want to realize a specific tutorial that will be named by Extreme Panoramic Landscapes Volume 2, because now it's out the Volume 1 that is only the daylight panoramas, but the Volume 2 it will be specific for the night panoramas. And of course, I will give a discount for the participant of my talk here, of people from here, from Night Photo Summit. So you will have a pretty huge discount from here. And also, I want to push my photography in something different. I mean, I don't want only hike a mountain, take my photo, record the tutorial, sell the tutorial, and etc. That is something that everyone does, but I want to explore um, some social aspect of photography. I mean, my big project, and I'm already working on it, is to have a gallery of virtual tours of my panoramas, of course. So I want to explore all over the world, and I can imagine a map of the world, and you can just select or choose. I mean, pin your with your finger on a location in Asia or in US or in Europe and etc. You just choose the location, and you will go inside the location with my idea is to do it with the visors, so people can be surrounded by my panoramas and look the panoramas. And this has to be the purpose of this is for people cannot afford the tourism, for example, or cannot travel in terms of money, or for problems, physical problems, or whatever it is. I want to help them to explore location that, or see Milky Ways, star trails, or whatever it is, without leaving home. I think the social aspect of photography is much important than selling tutorials or something like that. So this is the
I
project.
love it. I love it. Yeah, the way the world of the virtual, right, and the headsets and everything. That's I've only dabbled with it a little bit, but boy, yeah, I could see your work. And yes, if you could take us on a trip to those highest peaks that some of us will never get to, but we can share that with others. That is amazing. Really, wow. That I look forward to seeing that fruition, of seeing that project come to fruition, and putting those goggles on.
All right, all right, all right.
All
Good, good,
right.
good.
So listen, Alex, thank you so much. This has been just a wonderful 2 days. We had last night with how we got the shot, and a bonus with the night talk here today. We'll see you in 6 days. I think actually, Alex, you're kicking things off right on Friday too,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Think so.
So
Think
next
so.
Friday
Right.
is Alex's talk. You'll definitely don't want to miss that. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this. Remember, if you just came in late, the rewatch will be available on our Instagram page in about 5-10 minutes. But then also you can go to our 2025 Night Photo Summit website. And on there is a tab that says pre-con events. That should be probably posted to that page within the next 24 hours. And then when you click on that, it takes it actually you viewing it in our YouTube channel, which that means you can project it to your TV, right? And you can really see those images really big, right? YouTube on the
Finally,
TV, get off of your phone. Alex deserves it. We deserve it,
that's
So
true. That's
so
true.
that would be my advice. But if there's anyone out there too that is also really passionate about night photography, or maybe curious about night photography, consider joining us and other like-minded people at our annual Night Photo Summit virtual conference this January 24th to the 26th. We're going to have 40 plus presenters, 50 plus hours of inspiration, instruction, and a lot of fun. Camaraderie, community, and if you sign up by Friday, you also get a stellar glow-in-the-dark t-shirt mailed to your home. If you can't make it for the whole weekend, or you're going to miss 1 or 2 days, guess what? You have online access to all of the classes for 1 year after you purchase the event. So level up your skills with over 3 full days of photography education and inspiration at, again, 2025.nightphotosummit.com. Again, thank you all. Chris, photographing national parks. As soon as the video is ready, he's on standby. So we'll get that up there,
All right.
lickety split. So awesome.
All
Thanks,
right.
Chris. Appreciate that. Again, thank you all for your time, and we will see you out there seizing the night.